One of the things we've talked a lot about in this country is the moral collapse that we've witnessed during the Trump era, where it truly is just an outright war on things we all used to agree were good, right? All these basic values you were taught as a kid, like be kind, be fair, care about equality, care about justice, care about being honorable and virtuous and telling the truth. All these things, right? Don't be a narcissistic, selfish prick. It's just very simple. But now all of those values have been flipped. And now we live in a world where Trump made it to the White House multiple times. And so young kids now look at Trump and they go, okay, so clearly the way to get what I want is to be a bitch, throw a tantrum, be incredibly narcissistic and piggy and selfish, and be incredibly careerist and greed and money obsessed. So this is what's happened now. Like now, if you are not scamming people, you're a sucker. That's how they look at it. Oh, you're not trying to get yours. You're not trying to get the bag. You're a sucker. You have principles and values. You're a sucker. Everybody's scamming everybody. Everybody's a piece of shit to everybody. Everybody's betraying everybody. There is no more fucking loyalty and honesty and virtuousness and honor. I mean, it is moral collapse is what this country is experiencing right now. So a great example of that is not only Trump arming and funding the genocide in Gaza, hundreds of thousands of innocent Palestinians, mostly women and children, have been murdered. Just a nightmare scenario where schools and hospitals are being bombed. But at the same time that was happening, what did Trump do? He posted an AI video of what he wanted for the future of Gaza. And in the future of Gaza, what he wanted was golden statues to Trump and hotels and casinos on the beach where him and Netanyahu could sip a margarita by the pool. So he posted this AI video of like, look, we've ethnically cleansed and genocided Gaza and then stole the land and built statues to me. And he posted that like, isn't that so awesome? And of course, his sycophantic little asshole supporters who pretended 5 minutes ago to be anti-war were all like, yes, we love that, yes. I tell you that to show you this, a new video posted by Trump. President Trump and Secretary Hegseth send their new elite paw Team 6 after the narco terrorists. That's what this says. Let's watch. So, cutesy little video here with cats where, the American cats murder the non-American cats. Now, by the way, they portray this as if they're fucking narco-terrorists. First of all, that's not true. The people they're killing, there's zero evidence they're trafficking drugs. But second of all, even if they fucking were, when did the penalty for smuggling drugs, a small amount of drugs that can only fit on this little dingy fishing boat, when did the penalty for that become immediate execution? No judge, no jury, no trial, no arguments, nobody having rights. No, just fucking blow them up, murder them, kill them, who cares? Now, by the way, as I said, they're actually not smuggling narcotics because these boats don't have enough gas to reach the U.S. You have to refuel them 20 times in order for them to reach the U.S. Also, the Trump regime has said they're sending fentanyl into this country. Zero fentanyl comes from Venezuela. Literally none. Zero. Nada. So they're lying, but I reiterate, even if they weren't, and these were actually people smuggling drugs, you're going to murder people over barely enough cocaine for a single fucking bachelor party in Vegas? That's what you're going to do? They're bragging about it, guys. They're bragging about it. Every single story we've heard of these people, what is it now, 14, 15, 16 boats that they've bombed, over 60 people have been murdered. Most of them Venezuelans, totally innocent. Some from Colombia, some from Trinidad and Tobago. They murder these people. You have the admiral fucking saying, I'm out. I'm not doing it. Why? Because he knows what's happening. He knows it's illegal. He knows it's unconstitutional. He knows it's fucking terror attacks and murder. And he's like, I don't want to be a part of this because I could see myself in the fucking Hague if I follow through with this, right? Well, they think it's funny. They fucking love it. To them, this is great. We murder who we want, whenever we want, for whatever reason we want. Everybody can shut the fuck up and enjoy it. In fact, it's a joke. It's fun. Isn't it fun? Isn't it fun to murder people? The thing I can't stand the most is people who are fundamentally incapable of seeing themselves and others. That fucking random fisherman from Trinidad and Tobago, that could be fucking any of us. That could be your friend, that could be your family, that could be your mom, that could be you. These are innocent people living normal fucking lives, getting blown to smithereens by a psychotic fascist war criminal president. The most corrupt in U.S. history. This is insane. This is insane. And the media is not talking enough about it, and the Democrats are not talking enough about it, and the Republicans are just fucking supporting it because they're total little cuck bitches. Whatever Trump wants, they're 100% on board. No questions asked whatsoever. How have people not fucking realized what we're witnessing here? If this was any other country, there's no way we would have fucking toppled the regime like that and said these are the biggest terrorists in history. But when we do it, people seem to not know or not even care. They're like, oh yeah, these people are innocent. Like, what? The moral rot is immense, but I'm not done. So they're pretending half the time like, bro, you know what this is about? This is about narco-terrorism. We know that's not true. So what's it actually about? Well, then they say, bro, it's about I'm not kidding. They try to argue that Hamas has gained a foothold in Venezuela. I literally can't with these people. But here we have a quiet part out loud moment where big head Seb Gorka, who's part of the regime, he accidentally says what this might actually be about. Watch this.
But it's not just about the drugs.
Yeah.
I can't talk about the classified aspects of this, but in open source right now, your viewers can go online and they can search for the connections of that regime, the Maduro regime, to other bad actors, other states, other nations who, for example, have been plotting to target members of this administration, including the president. Iran's tentacles into this hemisphere go straight through Caracas and Venezuela. So yes, drugs primarily, the safety of Americans, but it is far more complicated than that because it involves regimes that are antithetical to America at their core.
So in other words, they've made some sort of, business deal with Iran, with Russia, and with China. And so obviously, the penalty for that is regime change. You die, and we steal your shit. Because what they really want, as you all know, is all of the mineral resources, and all of the oil. And Trump literally said, we almost got Maduro out in the first term. We almost got him out, and we would have taken that oil. We would have taken the oil. That's what it's about. So everybody needs to say it. This is not don't give me the bullshit. Just how long did the media and the Democrats pretend? Oh yeah, we're taking out Saddam Hussein because he has weapons of mass destruction. How long did they go with that farce? Way too long. Well, we knew early on that's not the fucking case. We're not playing that game this time around. We're not playing that fucking game. This 100% is about the oil and the mineral wealth. That's what it's about. They want to steal that shit. They want to occupy the country. They want to put in the fucking puppet who represents U.S. billionaire and corporate interests. That's what this is about. Everybody needs to say that with their chest. But I still got more for you. So this is a bombshell story that broke in Drop Site. Ryan Grimm and Sagar and Jetty worked on this. U.S. expanded drug cartel target list to include Colombian sites amid Rubio push for Venezuelan regime change. They said, look, it's not enough to go after just Venezuela. We want to bomb more than just Venezuela. Ready? So here, I'll walk you through this. They say the following. Secretary of State Marco Rubio has expanded his push for regime change in Venezuela to include cartel-linked targets in Colombia and Mexico. According to sources in the Trump administration on Capitol Hill with knowledge of the unfolding situation. So in other words, and by the way, the speculation is this might be why that guy, the admiral who was overseeing this, why he stepped down, why he said, I can have no part in this. Because they're saying, first of all, there's no evidence that any of these people did anything wrong. The people in these boats, these fishing boats that they're murking on a daily basis. That's point number one. Point number two is Rubio saying, let's bomb in Venezuela, like military targets in Venezuela. Let's also bomb these spots in Colombia, because Colombia has a leftist president right now, by the way. And let's go after Mexico. Bitch, what? Why don't you make a list of the countries you don't want war with? Because that might be shorter. When you look at fucking Yemen and Somalia and Greenland and Panama and the ones we just listed here, what is this? Iran, what is this? Oh my God. Rubio's drive toward more war has been predicated on claims that Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro was involved in the drug trade, including trafficking fentanyl to the U.S., but American intelligence officials have briefed President Trump to the contrary, alerting him to the fact that little to no fentanyl flows from Venezuela to the U.S. At an Oval Office meeting in early October, Trump administration officials and top generals discussed escalating the pressure on Venezuela to go beyond the semi-regular attacks on boats in the Caribbean, where 14 boats have been struck. I think it's more since then, by the way, killing at least 57 people. The discussed plans include striking on land inside Venezuela. The same October 2nd meeting included a previously reported directive from President Trump, who dialed his special envoy Richard Grenell into the call, telling him to cut off diplomatic communications with Maduro. That order was previously reported by the New York Times. In the wake of the meeting, the intelligence community was tasked with coming up with a more tangible list of targets on land. The problem, however, was that because of Venezuela's lack of significant involvement in the drug trade, the sites were largely in Colombia and Mexico. Though did include small sites along the Colombia-Venezuela border, a zone relatively not under state control where coca growing flourishes. Senator Lindsey Graham was briefed by Secretary of War Pete Hegseth on the new list of hard targets inside Venezuela, Colombia, and Mexico in early October, and lobbied fellow senators on expanding the war to include drug-related sites in Colombia, a source with knowledge of his conversations told DropSite. So, Trump and fucking Rubio are like, let's bomb more than just Venezuela. Let's bomb Colombia. Let's bomb Mexico. These are like fucking comic book villains, bro. They tell Lindsey Graham goes to Congress and tries to fucking lobby all the Republicans. We're on board with this, right? Huh? Let's bomb 8 countries. Why not? And this at the same time, this fucking sick fuck pretends Trump does. Like, I stopped 8 wars. Literally stopped 0. It's a fucking lie. It's a disgusting, grotesque fucking lie. And shame on the media for not pointing out literally none of them are true. He stopped 0 fucking wars. Graham alluded to his understanding of the battle plans in a recent interview on CBS News. We're not going to sit on the sidelines and watch boats full of drugs come into our country. We're going to blow them up and kill the people who want to poison America. And we're now going to expand our operations, I think, to the land. So please be clear about what I'm saying today. President Donald Trump sees Venezuela and Colombia as direct threats to our country because they house narco-terrorist organizations. This is insane. This is so fucking ludicrous. Meanwhile, what happened again to the actual fucking drug dealers? What happened to, what was it, the Sackler family, is it? Made this country addicted to fucking opioids and ruined countless lives. What happened to them? They got a little slap on the wrist, pay a little fine here, and then you're good. Nobody would spend time in prison. If we're killing drug dealers, do you want to fucking, I don't know, drone strike the head of Anheuser-Busch on his fucking yacht? Is that what you want to do? What about the CEO of Corona? Like, what are we doing here? Are you going to go after the makers of fucking Klonopin? You're going to attack GlaxoSmithKline with SEAL Team 6? Is that what you're going to do? You're going to go after the people who make all the fucking pill drugs the people are addicted to, all the fucking alcohol, the hard liquor, the fucking whiskey and the tequila and the vodka? No, because those drugs, we're going to grandfather those in. Those are fine. But the other ones, not acceptable. Even though Venezuela, no fentanyl comes from Venezuela, it's not acceptable, and we're going to pretend it does come from there and murder innocent people on a boat. We literally live in hell. I don't even know. Quote, President Trump's made a decision that Maduro, the leader of Venezuela, is an indicted drug trafficker, that it's time for him to go, that Venezuela and Colombia have been safe havens for narco-terrorists for too long. President Trump told me yesterday that he plans to brief members of Congress when he gets back from Asia about future potential military operations against Venezuela and Colombia. So there will be a congressional briefing about a potential expanding from the sea to the land. Now, by the way, let me point out, literally all of this is completely illegal. You guys know that. The War Powers Act, the way it works is Congress needs to vote and take us to war. So Trump, bombing in Venezuela, Trump bombing in fucking Colombia and Mexico, all of this is completely and utterly illegal. Even the attacks on the fishing boats, totally illegal. But they do it. And Congress is so fucking cucked. It's, of course, Republican-dominated right now, and they all support it. The interviewer noted that Indiana Republican Senator Todd Young had pushed back against this notion. What exactly is the end game? Because you're talking about regime change in Venezuela. CBS's Margaret Brennan said, the president says this is about drug boats. Well, I think the end game is to make sure that Venezuela and Colombia cannot be used to poison America, Graham said, again adding Colombia to the conversation. Trump on Friday said he was not planning to strike inside Venezuela, contradicting reports he was preparing military targets in Venezuela, as well as his claims from last week when he said the land is going to be next. So Trump has literally been going around, I'm not even kidding about this, and we've covered it a bunch. Trump has been going around repeatedly, over and over, saying, we're going to take out Maduro, we're going to go after Venezuela, we're going to stop Venezuela from giving all the drugs to the U.S., this is not acceptable, he shouldn't be in power over there. He's been saying over and over, we're going to overthrow them, we're going to do regime change, we're going to kill them. He literally said, we're going to kill a lot of people, okay? He said that the other day, we fucking covered it. Then as soon as the Wall Street Journal writes an article going, Trump says he's going to attack in Venezuela. He goes, I didn't say that. I don't know what you're talking about. God, I know these are evil fascists and imperialists and warmongers and psychopaths, but they're also fucking petty, childish bitches. He has the mentality of a goddamn toddler, where he says, I'm going to do all these things. Then when you say, you report on it and go, Trump says he's going to do all these things. You go, I don't know, wait, fake news media. No, it's just that when people actually write down what you actually believe and show you, you go, that's disgusting. Yeah, we know. That's why we're fucking calling it out. So apparently our best bet to try to prevent this from happening is all the media outlets just reporting that Trump wants to bomb inside Venezuela, then he'll scream fake news and not do it. But eventually he probably will do it anyway, because he's already bombing these fishing boats, which nobody thought that would ever happen. That we're going to fucking murder 16 boats, all innocent people on boats, destroy their fucking lives, commit war crime after war crime. Nobody thought that would happen, and it did. So we'll probably attack Venezuela too, maybe Colombia, maybe Mexico. But it's just so incredible. Like, all this is so incredible. Like, this is, and maybe I'm naive, but I remember, following the Bush administration, growing up, being awakened politically, and thinking, I don't know how it could get any worse than this. Illegal wars based on total lies? Like, how does it get, torture? Fucking torture. How does it get worse than this? And then here we are in the Trump era, and I'll be fucking goddamned. It's every horrible thing about the Bush administration, except worse. Because all the fucking illegal wars, there's all that going on, and also a complete destruction of the Constitution here at home, not caring about rights, not caring about due process, making us a total fucking dictatorship. So it can get worse. It can always fucking get worse. And this is just another example here that the stuff they have, they don't even know what the fuck they're doing. They don't even know what they're doing. But what they're committed to is the principle of utter destruction. They're committed to catastrophe and fucking apocalypse and Armageddon and ruining countless people's lives and not giving a fuck about the fallout as long as they're raking in billions of dollars by looting the country, as they'll continue to do. Hey y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.